What is going on, everybody? Welcome and good afternoon to Lunch with the Clydesdale. It's a Monday of daylight savings time week. Feeling the effects of that every single minute this morning. But we are back at work. We are cruising. We are doing our thing. And what's up, Kat? What's up, Corey? Doing our thing here on a Monday. Getting a little break from the work schedule. And then we got a meeting right after this. So today's lunch has got to be quick, but we'll get through that. And we're going to talk a little bit of the NFL landscape and free agency, the money that they are throwing around, and the health of that sport, and how, in contrast, it looks for the fitness world, CrossFit, whatever we're doing. And then we will move into taking a peek at where we are on the leaderboard. On one side, last week's champ seems to have posted up a score that will make her a two-time champ in the Open. And then we'll look at the men's side, see where we're at. Last week's champ has not posted yet on that side. So we'll see how that kind of plays out as we move through today's show. What's going on, Andrew? Did we save the daylight? We sure did. It was almost 8 o'clock here when the sun went down last night. And it messes with me trying to fall asleep. So Aaron Fraser says, no, the daylight is lost forever. Oh my gosh. Kat has a first date tonight, hiking state park. Should I bring a firearm? Depends on how much you know the person. And did you stick to your rule that you had to meet them in person to get the date, or are you back on the apps? That's my question. Corey says, stay strapped or get clapped, Kat. Aaron Fraser, always bring the firearm. So, she's back on the apps. Already breaking her own promises. Already breaking her own promises. I'm looking at some breaking news here from the NFL. Sorry, guys. The Chicago Bears just signed a center. There we go. We are revamping the offensive line in a hurry this year with 2 trades last week and a brand new center today. Yeah, that's pretty sweet. So I woke up today, and do you ever get that song like stuck in your head and you don't know why it's that song? And what's crazy is it's not a song I even like listen to very often, but the song that's stuck in my head is Whistle by Flo Rida. Flo Rida. Why would that song be stuck in my head? And the biggest problem for me is I don't even know the words to the song except for whistle baby. And so that's what keeps going through my head, and I can't get it finished because I don't know the words to get to the end of the song. And so maybe I just need to play the song fully out and get it out of my head. Is that how you get an earworm out of your head? Or if I play it, will it then just get more ingrained into my head and I won't be able to get rid of it? Kenneth Delep, I got Pink Pony Club on repeat in my brain. Oh, that's bad. Aaron says I need to get that whistle blown. Maybe that's the answer to it all. Yeah, just put your lips together. Thanks, Kat. Just playing it. All right, I'm going to try that. After this show, I'm just going to go jam, do a dance in my dining room to a little whistle, and then hopefully it's gone from my head, and I'll update you guys tomorrow on how that is. I just got done watching I didn't get done with it. I was in the middle of watching the Froning podcast. Did you see that the barn roof of the barn, the gym barn, got ripped off? Half of it got ripped off and sent across his field. And they had standing water inside the gym. All that gym equipment sitting in standing water. That is insane to me. So much expense. And like, I know my gym is super tiny compared to his. I know what I invested in my gym, and if it had standing water in it, I would be crying. I just wonder what the insurance claim is going to look like, and if the insurance adjuster is even going to understand what the hell those items are on the list of things that were damaged in the storm. Because I know when I go to the doctor, they don't even know what CrossFit is or any of the stuff we do. Can you imagine an insurance adjuster coming out and trying to figure out what the hell an Echo Bike is, or an Ohio bar, or all these things? I think that would be a funny conversation to have with an insurance broker. So I know the thumbnail said NFL free agency frenzy. That's already gone on. I cannot believe the money that the NFL is throwing around. Before free agency even started yesterday, teams were signing their own teams or their own players, or trading their players. Yesterday alone, Josh Allen got $330 million. Myles Garrett got $130 million. DK Metcalf got $150 million. And I know I'm missing another one. Oh, Devontae Adams got like $20 million a year. What a crazy, crazy day it was. And then free agency, the negotiating period opened at noon today. By like 12:05, there were already 4 signings. The Bears made Jeff Dahlman the second highest paid center in the league. Hassan Reddick went to the Buccaneers. $330 million to play a game. I have this argument with people all the time. The only reason he gets $330 million to play a game, because millions and millions of people watch every Sunday. And the TV networks can sell ads for those games so that people watch, and they can make a fortune. So they are paying that league billions and billions of dollars to be able to air those games. And because of those TV contracts, and to be competitive, the players get their share of it because they are an attraction to the game. That's why they get this money. If people came to watch me do my job and they paid so much money to do that, then my value would go up, and therefore I should make more money. But that's why. I ain't mad at him. I just think it's wild. Yeah, I'm not mad. If someone's going to pay you the money, you sign on a dotted line, right? And maybe that's the attitude we should take with this WFP thing. They came in and offered 40 athletes a chunk of money to come and play a game, play a sport, whatever you want to call it. Do fitness fast. And they jumped at that opportunity, right? Which I would. Most people would. There were Tia didn't, maybe. I don't know of anybody else that turned them down. But if someone's going to offer you the money to do it, you're going to do it. But I think what makes it tough right now is that here we sit. We're coming off of games that wasn't, that had a tragic event, and we knew there was going to be a dip in support for the sport. Then we have this second league come on who's offering everybody money. And now we have these 2 competing seasons in a year where we need the sport to come back. we have a lot of things going against us. and I don't hate on the WFP. They can do whatever they want to do. It's a free market, and if they can make it work with their the way they do things, that'll be interesting. And it maybe it helps grow the sport. But right now, it just seems like CrossFit is actually putting on open announcements that are fun again, that are emphasizing the community. They're making the right steps. I heard on Rich's podcast, the Safety Advisory Council had a meeting where they talked about things, especially like, should athletes know movements? Should they not? What does that do at the games? Sounds like they're actually doing things that need to be done. And that has been a criticism in the past, that the councils that have been formed don't necessarily do what they were designed to do. It sounds like the Safety Council is actually talking about important things for the upcoming season. The Athlete Council is putting out statements and the surveys, and they're answering the surveys, and they're doing things that other councils have not done in the past. Like, we're making headway. So it's just going to be interesting. It's something I think that's going to be fun to watch how the season plays out. I watched Dent's updates this morning, and her theory is that, some of the athletes are sandbagging the CrossFit Games season while doing the WFP. I'm not sure I would go that far in my conspiracy theory. I think that athletes know there was a lot of unknown going into the Open. We didn't know what the signups were going to be. We don't know what the prize payout's going to be. We don't know all this stuff. And so they were kind of reserving the way to examine what their options were and kind of slow play it. Just like Justin Fields in the NFL, right? He has offers from the Steelers. He couldn't get other offers from other teams till noon today. He slow played it rather than re-signing with them to see whether or not other teams would offer him more money. And so, yeah. So he is waiting to see what kind of money he would make. And so, yeah, I think that's what the athletes are doing now. They don't know what the WFP season is going to be like. And so they're just slow playing it to see. They're getting some guaranteed money. They can slow play it, see what it's going to look like, how much effort they put forth in any of these things, whether it be WFP or CrossFit, is anybody's guess. And we'll have to wait and see when they come up. Jody Lynn says, who cares? The CrossFit competition is going to be awesome, no matter who it is in it. I don't disagree with you on this. And I think the unknown fact of who's going to win even makes it more interesting. What I kind of disagree with is I care to see how it plays out. That's why we have these shows, right? I care to see I want to see how both play out. I want to see how they both attack things to be different, how they look at revenue streams. That's something I kind of wanted to talk about last night on the show, but we ran out of time. Is I don't think CrossFit over the years has capitalized on revenue streams that they could access to help make more money and to make the sport more profitable. I think they rely on the stuff that has been done before, and they're not being innovative about how to bring in additional money. And I think part of that is that they don't look outside their own house as to how other people are doing some things that are actually really good ideas. And so what's going to be interesting to me is if the WFP does something that is of value and brings value to the sport, will CrossFit be humble enough to say, hey, that was a good idea, we should implement it? Because none of that stuff can be trademarked or copyrighted other than CrossFit, the name. I guess WFP could be copyrighted as a name, but you can't copyright revenue streams, things of that nature, through the sport. So that's what I want to see. This is the exact example I was thinking of. Kenneth DeLapp doing a tailgate stream like Rogue did is such an easy way to make some dough. I completely agree. When you do it as well as Rogue did it, people are willing to pay $25 for a full weekend of getting different camera angles, getting a different studio show, getting different stuff like that. That is a way to make money that CrossFit is not taking advantage of. I also think that another one that I've brought up is CrossFit has never done jersey sales well. They've never delivered on time. They've never delivered in a good way. If you go to any other sporting event, there are t-shirts or jerseys or whatever polluting the audience. I went to the Olympic swimming trials. T-shirts for different swimmers were being worn by tons of people in the audience or in the crowd. You go to a baseball game, a football game, a basketball game, jerseys are being worn everywhere. The only thing that CrossFit sells in their store typically are things that say CrossFit. You have that copyright. You're the only one that can do a CrossFit Games jersey because it has CrossFit in it. They could do jersey sales and give a percentage to the athlete, just like they do in the other sports. And that is a way to make money for those athletes and for you, the big entity. But it takes too long for them to do it. And maybe if this B2 CrossFit, whatever it is, over in Europe buys them and as it has an apparel company, they can be more equipped to do things like this, capitalize on a different revenue stream. And that's one thing I don't think the WFP is doing awesome with. Their merchandise right now is just WFP. They've known who their signed athletes are for a while. They could have done jersey sales, things like that for the people to do that. They've had that could have been written into their contracts, and all that you see are WFP merchandise. They could have put the WFP logo on a jersey with Emily Rolfe or with James Sprague or whoever their signed athletes are, and it would be easy because you know who they are so far in advance, and you already have a contract with them. Craig says, really good quality replica jerseys, top, bottom, compression shorts, and socks would be cool. Yes, so much so. I completely agree. And people would buy those. When Christy owned our gym and she made her shirts for competition, she would sell the hell out of them. And everybody wore Christy jerseys throughout the gym. So yeah. Emily Rolfe is a boss. She sure is. Emily Rolfe is really cool. Did you guys see the Emily Rolfe? She only drinks in the off season, and then her chugging what is that called? Smirnoff Ice. After the 25.2 announcement, in the middle, like in a lunge in the middle of the comp floor. It was freaking awesome. Yeah, I have a Jamie shirt too. They came out well. That was Thick Boy. Thick Boy did that. Made a really nice replica-ish type jersey. It was really cool. Yeah, she probably got iced. She did. It was cool. And she chugged it like a boss too. So I will buy Jamie's t-shirt this season if offered. Well, you'll hear it here first, Craig. You're always here. You'll know if we offer another one. If she goes to the games, I am sure that that we will do another shirt for her. but I do know that her priorities this year are more about her son's senior year in high school. So she's got to get through that and get him into college. Um, but hopefully she's able to do both this season. But her priority is really her son this year. And she said that on our show, I think a couple weeks ago. But she took sixth in the first open workout in her division. I'm sure she's going to do fine this week. Um, she'll make it to the next round where she will do better. And hopefully she qualifies and we'll see her here in Columbus. If not, hopefully she comes to Columbus and hangs out with me and we do our coverage down here when all that's going on. So I just think that everything's kind of at a crossroads, and crossroads means not that it's going to be bad from here on out. It could be good. We could have an uptick of things with everything going on this year, or we could have a downturn. I think it's the time. It's a crucial time where um, CrossFit has to take advantage of what's out there and make those changes to get that uptick for the sport. Um, and it's going to be fun to watch. Fun to watch for sure. So let's take a look at the leaderboard and where we stand at the current moment with 25.2. Ooh, on a side note, Scott, my wife was hit by the return to office policy in Texas, so it looks like we are moving back to Austin. Ah, that sucks, dude. Do you still have your house there? I hope so. And how much longer does she have till retirement age? I'll tell you what it's done for me has made me really kind of look at all the retirement options I have, and that you don't have the house. Oh man. What it's made me do is really look at retirement options. What are my options? When can I make the jump? 15 years. Oh, that's brutal. See, I know like in the state of Ohio, as long as I'm working from home, I just have to be within the border of the state to continue to work my job. I could move anywhere in the state of Ohio. But if I return to the office, it has to be here in Columbus. And I'm assuming that that's the same for your wife. And that's just brutal. Tell her I feel her pain so much. Cause I know like I made it through this phase of the problem, but it's going to come back and bite me at some point. I know that I'm going back at some point. Um, because the momentum is just too great at this point. Uh, and it kind of, because my daughter lives in Pennsylvania. My mom lives in Pennsylvania. We thought about moving back there since I worked from home, but I'm not allowed to be outside the Ohio border, and they have actually busted people here for doing that, um, because they can tell from your IP address if you're in the state or out of the state. And yeah, we had some people move out of state, try to work continue for the state, and they were promptly fired. So I hope you find a good solution, Jay Birch, man. So on the women's side, I'm going to refresh this since we are on the final day. Heidi says to Jay Birch, wouldn't it be better just to get a new job? Um, yeah, it depends on how many years you have and how close you are to retirement. Those are the things that I had to look for. Uh, Denise, my husband had back surgery February 10th, and I've been working from home to be his caregiver. Yeah, we're not even in for my job. If they find out you're a caregiver, you are not allowed to work from home. You actually have to take FMLA or be off for that. Um, thank goodness when my wife had knee surgery, my boss was like, listen, you're not going to need to take care of her 24/7. Just kind of tell me when you need to do stuff and take leave just on the times you need to do that. And he was super cool with me and kind of like under the table allowed me to get away with that. So yeah, they're really strict here about that stuff. And I don't know why. They're so not friendly. So we look at the leaderboard as it stands right now. Miriam von Rohr, as predicted, is sitting in first already with a 418. So she won the first week. There's a lot predicted that she would pull the double. Right now, she's sitting at 418 with a 12-second lead over Annika Greer at 429, Fisa Gaffi 430, Danielle Brandon 435, Maddie Sturt 436, Claudia Gluck 437. Man, those are tight. Alex Gazan 441, Andrea Solberg 442, and then you can see Lucy McGonigal and Rebecca Fuselier, Lucy Campbell, Marissa Flowers, Ariel Lowen, Alexis Raptis, Spiegel Wells, Kristen Holta, Kyra Milligan, Sarah Sigmund's daughter, having a pretty good performance this year in the Open. Elena Caratala, Trista Smith, Sydney Wells, Olivia Kerstetter, Christine Best, Emily Rolfe, Allison Scuds, Shelby Neal, Caitlin Sanders, Amy Kringle. So that is your top 50, with highlighting some of the women on the women on 25.2. So then we look at the men, and this is where things get a little bit. They've removed him. So there was a 2 minutes and 18-second person, and in the time since we've started the show, that has been removed. So Austin Hatfield now sits in first with a 416, Jace Peck with a 418, and Colin Bossard with a 419. Then it's a jump to Jeff Adler at 426, tied with William Rios at 426. Cale Lehman, Peter Ellis, Dallin Pepper, Fabian Benito, Jay Crouch, Yonakoski, Justin Medeiros, Jason Hopper, Ricky Garrard, Harry Lightfoot, Caden Hogan, 19-year-old, really having a good Open. Bruno Marins, Lionel Franco, Sam Cornway, Aldous Upanix, Scott Panchek, the old man, sitting in third with a sub-5. Enola Kai, Seth Stovall, Roman Krennikov, George Sterner. No MMA guy in the video this week. Such a disappointment. Ben Fowler, Jack Rosema, Tanner Balaz, William Leahy the fourth, and Enrico Zanoni round up your top 50. Same for me, just doing the kin care hours for when I need to help him. Yeah, I'm glad they're letting you do that. Good. 218 isn't physically possible. I don't give a damn how fit you are. Yeah. Denise, I'm glad they are looking at those odd scores. Me too. And they're quickly removing them. Like, that has never been a thing in the past that I remember, where it went up and down within an hour or two. Denise says the top score in 65 to 69 seems implausible. Well, let's look at that. So if I go age group, 65 to 69, women, a 605. And the next score is 1014. And there sits our Denise in fourth at 1021. Yeah, that doesn't seem plausible that there's someone 4 minutes faster than everybody else. They'd have to be a really, really fit, really, really fit 65-year-old to whip out a 605. That actually beats Jamie's score. I know if you haven't seen it, it's out on YouTube. You can check it out. I don't see a 65-year-old being as fit as Jamie. in a workout like this. But congratulations, Denise. That's a great score. Whoop. I'm thinking it was their tiebreak time. That is entirely possible. That's way better than my tiebreak time. So yeah, so that is the leaderboard where we stand today. It's going to be interesting to see how it all plays out. I know everybody's waiting for the Colton Merton score to come in and see if he wins 2 weeks in a row. I think that is completely possible, but I also think it's just as possible that someone is going to have a hell of a weekend and be able to beat it. There's just too many fit people in the world. And that's what makes Mirjam van Roer so impressive, that right now she's sitting in position to win 2 in a row. I think that is insane. And if she pulls it off, if Colton pulls it off, wow, that's something. Then I think the question becomes later in the week, is programming diverse enough to find the fittest to move on? If the same people are winning the workout week after week, have we programmed it right to find the fittest to move forward? And that has been the crux and the issue with the Open for a while. So we'll wait and see what happens tonight. But after that, we can talk about, are we doing the best to find the right people to move forward on to semifinals? Because taking that quarterfinal step away from the season, I think the Open is more important on who gets to semis. So that is going to be fascinating to see. Well, with that, I do have a 1:00 meeting today. So you hooligans, get back to work. This has been Lunch with the Clydesdale. We will see you tomorrow. Bye, guys.